As the American Revolution wore on, it took its toll on the soldiers. They longed for warmth, safety, and victory. But most of all, they thought of returning home for a colonial treat like only Mom could make.
Colonial spoon bread.
I'm Chef Todd Moore. My mission is empowering people to cook without recipes. They experience the freedom to cook what they want, how they want it, the confidence to take control and try new things, the health benefits of fresh, wholesome foods, and the family-strengthening bonds of dinner time together, as well as the money they save by eating well. Live without rules, cook without recipes. It's a no-recipe lifestyle.
It's a colonial spoon bread, and this is the type of thing that your grandmother probably made, but hasn't been made in a long time by anybody, because it's a custardy kind of bread, and it's a type of thing you can make up ahead of time the day before and cook it off at night. Our colonial spoon bread is going to be a very soft, almost like cornbread, but thus the name, eat it with a spoon. And it's a very simple thing to make. Again, it's basic, simple ingredients. What I have is about 3/4 of a cup of water, 3/4 of a cup of milk. I have 3/4 of a cup of yellow cornmeal. I've got about a teaspoon or so of sugar. I've got 1 tablespoon of butter. I have, I thought I had 3 eggs. I'll have 3 eggs when I stop the camera and start it again. And I've got about a half tablespoon of baking powder. It's a simple procedure where we combine the milk, the water, and the cornmeal on our soup pot here, bring this together to gelatinize some of that starch, make it kind of sticky, and I'll show you how we start. Our colonial spoon bread starts with a 1/4 cup of milk. I'm sorry, 3/4 of a cup of milk, 3/4 of a cup of water, and a lot of flame under the stove. We're going to bring that to a nice rolling boil. And while our milk and water comes to a nice soft simmer first on the stove, what we do have now is our 3 eggs that I found. And these are 3 whole eggs that are going to go in the bowl, not separated. Oh, hey, by the way, do you guys know how to separate 2 eggs? Like that. Another great chef joke. Thank you very much. It kills at the chef convention. Separate 2 eggs. Got it. Anyway, it's whole eggs. So we'll put 3 whole eggs in this bowl here. 2, 3, and give it our half tablespoon of baking powder. This goes in with the eggs, and we'll whisk all these together. My milk and water here just barely starting to come to a simmer, and here's my 3 eggs with the baking powder. We'll go ahead and whisk those up until they're light and fluffy, whisking the 2 of them together, keeping an eye on my milk. Whoops, let's set this aside for now, and it's going to get added 3/4 of a cup of cornmeal to the milk and the water combination till I make this ugly paste the way it is. It doesn't look pretty right now, but we'll continue to cook that. It's also going to get a pinch of salt and about a teaspoon or so of sugar in there. Combine that and turn the heat off. Hey, I almost forgot about my tablespoon of butter. That's supposed to go in with the milk and the water, but it's okay. I put it in with the hot cornmeal concoction that I have here. See what I got working? With the tablespoon of butter in here. And my other half of it is my 3 eggs along with my, half tablespoon of baking powder. We put that in there to dissolve the baking powder a little bit. But wait, like we've seen in so many episodes before, we cannot pour the eggs into a very hot item like that. What we will get is scrambled eggs and a cornmeal mush. So this cornmeal mixture has to be cooled below 165 degrees, which is the temperature for coagulating proteins in the egg. How do we do that? Well, we stir it around a little bit. You can put it in the refrigerator for a few minutes. You can set it down in an ice water bath if you'd like, but this needs to get below the temperature at which we would create scrambled eggs, because what we're really making here is a cornmeal custard, and what we want is that egg protein along with our baking powder to leaven this colonial spoon bread. So as soon as I get this cool enough, we're going to mix the 2 of them together. Stirring my cornmeal mixture around to cool it a little bit. And how's the only quantifiable way to tell what temperature it's at? Say it with me, with a thermometer. Let's put the thermometer in our dough and make sure it's under 165 degrees, but certainly under 140 is going to help us a lot more. I see 127, 129, 130, 31 is where it is, so I'm ready to add some of this egg to it, my beaten egg mixture, and combine the two of them together to make this custard. Stir this up, and then what I'm going to do is go ahead, I've got a prepared pan here that I've sprayed with some pan spray, or you can certainly butter the pan, and now this will simply get mixed together and portioned out into that pan. Now, when my spoon bread comes out of the pot, the combination of the egg mixture and the cornbread mixture, yeah, it looks like gruel. It looks like some kind of nasty gruel, but trust me, it tastes really, really good. So this will go in a 350-degree oven until it's done, until you put a toothpick in it. Not like a cake comes out clean, because this is a more dense product, but you'll start to see it leaven. You'll start to see it brown on top. Being a little moist inside is one of the great things about it. Now, what do you do with this? I love to put jellies on it, jellies and jams and so on, but it's our colonial spoon bread. It's another great idea for breakfast. We're going to put it in the oven and see what it comes out as. And then a few minutes later, out from the oven, there's our spoon bread, our colonial spoon bread. And you see, it's called spoon bread. Let me show you, because look how nice and wet it is inside. This is more of a custard kind of thing than it is a bread, for sure. If you put this in a loaf pan and tried to turn it out, it certainly would not stand up like a bread. And I love this because I spread jam on top, or some kind of strawberry compote, or any kind of fruit. It's a wonderful base for a good Sunday morning meal. Not what I suggest for your Tuesday morning commute necessarily, but a new idea for breakfast, our colonial spoon bread.